what is your take on this? The many upsets, and we see that the level between tier 3 and tier 2 and tier 1 isn't that big anymore.
That's because at the end of the day, Counter-Strike is about aiming and relies a lot on mechanics. And when young players are grinding the game, obviously they catch up pretty fast. I feel like before there used to be a skill gap between the tier 1 and tier 2 players, but not really anymore. It's about what team has a better leader or more experience. Because I feel like when you watch Counter-Strike now, you can see the experience come through a lot more than you could before. And I think that's just because everyone is, mechanically good.
Hello guys, my name is NaToSaphiX. Today we have another video. This time it is yet another video for Play.gg. Now, after watching the intro, I bet you can guess what we are going to take a look at today. Today we'll be comparing tier 2 to tier 1 to see if there really is a difference in skill or if it is more sort of experience and game sense based. Enjoy. Starting out, I've picked out a demo from one of the most consistent tier 2 teams we have in all of Counter-Strike. It is Heat, and this time it's against Havu. In this round, Joko goes out and searches for an early entry in mid, but unfortunately gets taken down by Sen. I am starting out by showing you some clips of what I would call cheap entries. So first we saw Joko, and here we see Sen rushing out into mid and dying by his lonesome. Immediately after, Joko decides to go for an aggressive play on B and just dies. Then X7 decides to rush through a smoke and just dies. Then Jax even kills Doto, but he does get traded, and this round is just one of many. Giving away cheap entries is one thing, but something I'm pretty sure we wouldn't see in a tier 1 match, and it's actually from a former tier 1 player in Jax. Here we see Jax with a full utility belt, deciding not to throw down the Molotov here, and instead he tags up Sen. He hears the dink, and in my opinion, he should be trying to nade the bomb site in this moment to kill Sen. Then he even sees Sen move over to Banana, and I think also here he could have potentially naded him. But now he has at the very least a Molotov for the side, a grenade for the side, he has a smoke for cave as Banana is going to get smoked by his teammate, yet he decides to not throw a single grenade, and I just have to say that seems like a very bad choice. An example of individual skill here from Exercise is this cracking 1-deek on the mid guy, and then afterwards he even hits another nice shot. Unfortunately, he will go down immediately after. Here is another round I think we would just not see in tier 1. It actually starts out great with Buddy and Joko combining brilliantly on the cave players, but then Sen takes down Buddy and X7 finds a nice timing on Joko, catches him basically with his pants down. But now is the time where the round evolves into something super funky. X7 tries to flash in front, then he molotovs, and everything here is great. Jax takes down X7, but a nice trade from Sen. But look what happens here with Afro, stuck in a corner, and Dodo somehow manages to not kill him here. Then Sen almost killed him through the smoke with his USP. He decides to leave the bomb, and he had a really good chance of winning this round, but he will lose it. Round 24 and more cheap entries. Here Buddy for some reason decides to just go suicide in the smoke, and then immediately after X7 goes and also decides to basically kill himself. Then Sen gets timed a little bit unluckily, but the flash actually fails, and then Ariel, he also gets a flash, but it also kind of fails. Joko decides to just walk into Dodo's aim, and then Jax kills a guy who's completely alone, and then Exercise, who has a knife out, runs into a guy and dies, and just no one trades in the entire round. Round 26, and look at how alone Joko is here at the top of Banana, but at the same time look at how lonely Ariel is here on the B bomb side. A straight 1 versus 1 duel here that Joko wins, and from this kill Buddy gets another. Then he gets taken down by Sen, but Afro trades, and then Afro tries to trade Exercise, but it seems to be a misplay in this situation. The round turns into a 2-on-2, and it gets played out in a extremely weird fashion. X7 catches a guy with a nade, and now both CTs have a smoke grenade. They should know where Jax is, and yet everyone is just taking one-on-one fights, which makes absolutely no sense. And then at the dying embers of this match that ended 16-14, we see yet another misplay, this time sort of again from Jax. He goes on his lonesome all the way up Banana, pushes through a smoke and gets killed in the side. And when we go to Ariel's point of view, we hear Joko step, and then Ariel falls back with his smoke in hand, throws it down on timing, and gets the freest of frags on Jax in a very important round. Moving over to the tier 1 side of things, and we see Furia spacing in this round over on the B bomb side, which is in fact a little too close for comfort as Drop does massive damage onto Art. It still is nice to see great spacing and a lot of trade potential, something we didn't see too much from the tier 2 match. Playing fast means you have a lot less time to think, and that is something that Furia are for sure mastering in this round, where they decide to just rush out on the A bomb side. Notice even with the pace, the amount of coordination and trading they managed to have here on the A bomb side. Funnily enough, Heroic are actually going to go on to win this round. Look at how much more aggressively and together this mid is taken from Furia in round 14 against Heroic. Cadian is playing in front of the donut smoke, and when he gets the first kill onto Art, look at what Yabi does here, going through the mid smoke with a flash. An immediate kill onto Kiserato, but he does get traded by safe. For these tier 1 rounds, just notice on the radar how much more often the T side is closely connected. In this round, Tissus gets first contact, but Stown gets the kill. Then Tissus creates the space for the team, he gets another kill onto Safe, and then Shush gets a very snappy shot onto Kiserato. It just goes so damn quick. Something that I didn't see a whole lot of in this match was cheap entries given, and look how much harder each team has to work for their opening kills in these rounds. I think this round of them all is my absolute favorite. Here Heroic bring out 3 guys in mid, Kiserato gets a flash over from A, then he tucks in and gets another flash from A, almost gets the secondary kill, then Art comes out and takes the angle for him, but then Cadian peeks him and takes him down, then Kiserato gets 1 kill, and then Drop comes through the mid smoke and immediately kills Cadian. We never saw this from Heat or Havu. The only really cheap entry given in this match was on round 27, where Shush dies over towards the A bomb site. Heroic have just dropped a 15-5 lead and it's now 15-11. They're scrambling a little bit and getting a bit desperate, and because of that, Safe does take down Stown as well. Now something really weird happens. Tissus decides to go through mid alone with the bomb. He does get a smoke, but he ends up killing Art while in a Molotov. He drops with the bomb into a corner, and this round is at this moment just unsavable. I will use this last very beautiful round to conclude a little bit and give you my opinion on what Twist said, and honestly, I just have to agree, the individual skill level of the tier 2 players and the tier 1 isn't really that big. I do think there still is a sort of gap there, but it definitely is the decision making and the experience that shines through when you compare the tier 2 teams with the tier 1s. I do also agree that the gap between tier 2 and tier 1 is smaller than it has ever been before, but I do think the gap is still noticeable and very visible. I have been NaToSaphiX for Play.gg, and thank you so much for watching the video.